Hello students, from today we will be discussing on Organization of Commerce and Management. This is specifically for class 11. We will be discussing about the introduction to commerce and business. We'll discuss about trade. We'll also discuss about small scale industry and businesses. Then we'll also understand the various forms of business organization, the institutes which support business, the general business environment, and introduction to management. In the first chapter of Introduction of Commerce and Business, we'll discuss about the various economic and non-economic activities which are known as the human activities. The economic activities are divided into three categories: the business, profession, and employment. We'll also understand the various objectives of business and the role of profit in business. We'll also understand the business activities as classified into industry and commerce. The human activities are divided into two categories: non-economic activities and economic activities. Non-economic activities are those activities for which human beings do not pay a price. They are the free gifts of nature. For example, non-economic activities are sunlight, water, rainfall, because we are not paying any price for it. Economic activities are classified into business, profession, and employment. We will be discussing these economic activities further. Business is defined by Professor Henry as business activities are all those human activities which are directed towards the production and processing of food. According to Professor Pride, Huggies, and Kapoor, the organized effort of individuals to produce and sell for a profit the goods and services that satisfy society's needs. As per these definitions, there are certain characteristics which come out of business. These characteristics are as follows. Business is an economic activity. That means there is an exchange of a monetary value. So it's an economic activity which has a price. There are generally two or more parties in business. One person is producing those commodities or goods or services, and another party who consumes or is the user of those commodities. So generally, in a business there will be two types of parties. The business is always run because of profit motive. Profit is the only sole objective of a business. A person will undertake the activity of business when he knows that he will be earning some profit for the risk that he is undertaking for the business. In business, the goods and services are produced, and exchanged of those goods and services also takes place. Not just the production of the goods and services, but exchanging those goods and services takes place. When the goods or services are produced, they are not meant for self-consumption. They are for the purpose of trading, to give those goods and services to the people who need it. So that is known as the exchange of goods and services. So business is an activity which deals in goods and services. It produces, it exchanges those goods and services, and maybe there could be trading also happening in business. A businessman may buy goods from one party and he may sell to another party. So that is also known as trading or business. In business, there is a continuity in dealings. The business will run, it is assumed that business once started, it will run forever. So there has to be a continuity in the production of goods and services and in exchange of goods and services. One random act of production will not constitute business. It is a continuity of dealings, of production, of exchange, of dealings, of goods and services which constitutes the business. We all understand that in business there are uncertain returns. A person doesn't know how much he will be earning out of that business. So the returns can only be known once you earn them. So that uncertainty is there, and the entrepreneur or the businessman who undertakes that business is sure about that this uncertainty is there, and accordingly he will make his plans. There is this element of risk in business. Sometimes the business might also run into losses. It is not that every time the business is earning profits. There might be times when the business is running into losses. So this element of risk is always there in business. Not just about profit, there could be more competition in future. Suppose it's a restaurant owner and another restaurant opens right in front of that business, who may take the clients of this person. So that risk is always there in case of a business. The aim of business is to provide the goods and services for the satisfaction of customers, clients, consumers. So customer satisfaction constitutes a major portion of the business. So business is undertaken for a profit motive, for customer satisfaction. It is the production, exchange and dealings in the goods and services in and it has uncertain returns, and it will always have an element of risk to it.
Now let us understand what a profession is. Profession is that part of economic activities under which a person uses his educational knowledge and special skill to render services for earning some income. For example, professionals are generally doctors, chartered accountants, etc. So these people have a specialized skill and knowledge. So the features of profession can be then understood from various aspects. The aim of the profession is to earn some income. So profession requires that the basic goal of getting that educational knowledge and skill is to get some income. For example, a doctor gets his consulting fees, chartered accountant gets his fees for audit, accounting. The qualification which are required for a profession is his educational knowledge, which is very important. Unless a person has that minimum qualification, he will not be qualified to be a professional. Lawyers require a specific degree, doctors require specific degree. So qualifications are required for any person to be known as a professional. The profession itself will be giving financial returns to the person, and this income is also regularly and continually they will be pursuing that profession to earn the money. It is not just that once in a while the professional gives his services and then he just sits at home and he does not utilize his degree. But when he is utilizing his degree, he is earning his income, so there will be some financial returns into the will be some financial returns will accrue to the professional. There is some amount of capital which is involved. The professional will have to invest some amount of money for his degree, for acquiring that skill, and maybe if he wants to set up his own practice, there will be some amount of capital which will be involved in setting up that particular professional organization. Under profession, the registration and membership is mandatory. Lawyers have to register themselves with the Bar Council and they get a membership number. Chartered accountants register themselves with the Institute of Chartered Accountants and get a membership number. So each profession will require a registration and a membership of that professional body. The certificate which the professionals get or the membership which they get, it is non-transferable. A person cannot transfer his professional degree to anyone else. So it is like the person has to perform the task himself. He cannot delegate his educational knowledge or skills to someone else. So there is a non-transferability of knowledge and skill for earning the income. The nature of the work is generally in the form of service. So professionals will generally provide services, they will not be producing anything. Here doctors will give their services, chartered accountants give their services, lawyers give their services. So the nature of work is in the form of service.
Now coming to business objectives are broadly classified as economic objectives and social objectives. Economic objectives are the business will be earning profits. It may search for new customers. The business may innovate. The business will undertake research development activities, R&D, and the business will use the resources in the best possible manner. Among the social objectives, the business has to supply quality products. It has to avoid unfair trade practices. Business generates employment. Business tries to help to solve the social problems, and it may contribute to society's welfare.
Now let us understand the role of profit in business. Profit gives returns to investors. The people who invest the money in the business expect fair returns on their capital. This is possible if adequate profits are earned by the business. Business also requires research and development for innovate their products. An adequate profit enables a firm to spend more on R&D. This can lead to better technology and lower the cost. And innovative products then also help and benefit the whole nation. Profit is also required for the growth and expansion of the business. Retention of profits is the internal source of funds. This profit can be used for increasing the volume of business through expansion. So the extra profit a person earns, he will put it back into the business for growth and expansion purposes. Profit also increases the efficiency of the business. The capacity of the business to absorb shocks also are there because there is profits to fall back upon. The person gets motivated by more profits and it increases the efficiency. Profit is a means of livelihood for the businessman. So he is earning his income out of the profit. Profit is also a reward for the risk that the businessman is undertaking for business, for undertaking that business. Profit is also required for the survival of the business in long term. Unless a business is earning profits, it may not be able to sustain itself in the industry. So profit is very important for a business, and profit generally means the difference between the revenue over the cost. There is a selling price and there is a cost price. The difference between the two is the revenue or is the profit. Industry implies the economic activities that are associated with the conversion of resources into goods that are ready for use. This involves production and processing of goods, mining, breeding, and rearing of animals. The goods produced may be consumer goods or capital goods. Consumer goods are those goods which are used for direct satisfaction of wants by the consumer. And capital goods are those goods which are used by the producer for uh, producing more of capital goods or more consumer goods. Normally, consumer goods are directly consumed by final consumer, whereas capital goods are used by another industry for further production of goods. The term industry also means group of firms producing similar or related goods. Sugar industry refers to all manufacturing units producing sugar from sugarcane. Similarly, electronic industry would include all firms producing electronic goods. It also creates services like banking, hotel, insurance, tourism, etc. Industry creates from utility. It converts the raw material into usable finished product. All this is possible with manpower, machine power, and large capital investment. Industrial activities are conducted in factories, workshops, sheds, or even sometimes at home. It all depends on the size of the industry. Industries may be divided into three broad categories: primary industry, secondary industry, and tertiary industry. Primary industry is concerned with nature. It is a nature-oriented industry. The products of primary industry may be used as input of secondary industry. A primary industry is basically of three types: agriculture-based, extractive, or genetic. Agriculture-based industries are include farming, harvesting, and so on. Extractive industry includes mining, quarrying, and genetic industries are like fisheries, poultry farming. Coming to secondary industry, these are the manufacturing units or the construction units. Manufacturing units take a raw material, convert it into a finished product with the help of other raw materials. So finally, a new product comes out of manufacturing. In the construction industry, it is some construction is done on an immovable property, and then it amounts to construction. Now, tertiary industry, as we said, it is a service industry. It provides help to the other industries for transport. The goods which are made by the manufacturing industry are to be transported. The transport industry helps in transporting the goods from one place to another. Then there is the banking industry, which helps in the finances of the manufacturing units or the businessmen or organizations. Then there is hotel industry, which helps in the businessmen traveling from one place to another. Tourism industry also helps in promoting the local geographical areas for tourism purposes. Then we have the entertainment industry, like the Bollywood industry, for the entertainment of the consumers. Coming now to the commerce aspect. Commerce is anything which is helping the industry. So it is a part of the business. So under commerce, we have two activities: trade and ancillaries to trade. Trade is further divided into home trade and foreign trade. Home trade means whatever trade takes place within the boundaries of the country, and foreign trade means the trade which is carried outside the boundaries of the country. Now, under home trade, there is wholesale trade and retail trade. Wholesale trade, under wholesale trade, wholesalers buy the goods from the manufacturer themselves and then sell to the retailers at a small margin. Generally, wholesalers sell at a small margin, but they operate in bulk quantities. Under retail trade,
The goods are sold to the ultimate consumers for direct satisfaction of wants. Retailers generally buy the goods from the wholesalers and sell to the consumers directly. Under foreign trade, there are three categories: import, export, entreport, or re-export. Import means when we have to bring into the country certain goods or services for requirement or for the satisfaction of wants of consumers. So we are bringing goods inside the country. Export means when our goods which are being produced are sold outside the country. This means the goods are made within the country, but they are sold outside the country. And then there is entrepot or re-export. In this case, we first import the raw material, convert it into finished products, and then sell it or export it. So that is a re-export. So we are bringing the goods inside the country, making it into finished product, and then selling it outside the country. So that's entrepot trade. Now let us understand the differences between industry and commerce. Industry means what is engaged in the production of goods and services. Commerce is engaged in the distribution of goods and services. Industry is located in factories and workshops. Commerce is conducted in markets and offices. Industry creates form utility. Commerce creates place, time, and possession utility. Under industry, we use machine and manpower. Commerce will require more manpower. Under industry, huge capital is required to start the industry. Under commerce, it requires comparatively very less capital. Industrial activities are meaningless without commerce. But commercial activities cannot be started in the absence of industry. Industry is of primary importance and commerce has secondary importance. Industry is conducted by producers and manufacturers, and commerce is conducted by traders, mercantile agents, etc. Industry is classified into primary, secondary, and tertiary industry, while commerce is classified into trade and auxiliaries to trade. Industry represents the supply side of the market, whereas commerce represents both the demand and the supply side of the market.
Now let us understand the differences between business, profession, and employment. Business is an economic activity. Goods and services are produced and distributed. Profession is also an economic activity where expert services are rendered. And employment is an economic activity where one person works under another person. Business generally will earn profit. Profession will take professional fees as a return to the services which the professional gives. Under employment, an employee receives wages and salaries. In business, capital investment depends on size and nature of the business. Under profession, limited capital investment is required, except this in case of self-employed professional. And under employment, no capital investment is necessary. Under business, it provides goods and services to the public. Under profession, the professional provides personalized expert services to the public. Under employment, the employees perform the work as per their service contract. In business, no minimum qualification is prescribed. Under profession, expert knowledge and training is required. and under employment, it is prescribed by the employer. Under business, businessmen are free to take the decisions. Under profession, professionals take expert decisions. Under employment, employees are not allowed to take decisions. Only few decisions they may take, but major decisions are taken by the employers only. Under business, because business is uncertain, so profit is also uncertain and it may be irregular. Under profession, fees are generally certain and regular. Under employment, fixed and regular pay is as per the terms of service. Examples of business are builders, grocers, supermarket, etc. Professional people are doctors, lawyers, chartered accountants, etc. And employment is generally clerk, teachers, professors, etc. Now coming to the differences between business and commerce. Business is an economic activity in which production and distribution of goods take place. And commerce is that part of business which is concerned with distribution of these goods and services. Business is a broader concept as it includes commerce also. Commerce is a narrow concept as it is a part of the business. Business requires technical and marketing skills. Commerce requires only marketing skills. Business is classified into industry and commerce. Commerce is classified as trade and auxiliaries to trade.